You have written an article a few months ago, in fact, which is titled "How Woke Activism is Killing the Queer Cause in India." Right? This was about a few months ago. What do you mean by that? How is woke activism? Why is it problematic?
Um, you know, uh, woke activism, I don't go with the term woke activism or activism too. Because see, um, we have a lot of problem, but we are still a democratic country. We are the largest democratic country. For me, I think we are the only democratic country because no other country is as diverse as Bharat. As diverse as Bharat. I have traveled to so many countries. I'm 29 now. I have traveled extensively past, 7 to 10 years, and have been visiting places and for various conferences or meetings. I have established ecosystems, or I was a co-founder of this organization called Intersex Asia, one of the founding member, for which we raised a lot of donations. Also, I introduced something called fellowships on various levels to develop training programs, and we were very, very, very apolitical in all those. We were focused more on the struggle and the trauma the community undergoes, or so. You know, the woke activism is something which is pushing a kind of foreign agenda here. Because we as a country, we have a problem, we have issues, but the solution should be indigenous. It should come from our own people. It's not technology we are borrowing, from certain countries. In the era where knowledge war is happening, which is worse than nuclear war, which is kind of destabilizing everything, because certain organizational structures, what we see, which is working against the integrity of Bharat, which is working against the integrity of Hindu Dharma, which want to destroy Hindu Dharma or Hindus, are their civilizational values or indigenous traditions around the globe. Because every single indigenous persons or the traditions you see around the globe is highly Christianized, highly, Abrahamic traditions have occupied it. They are no more indigenous. Maybe in their dress or in certain type of languages, they may be indigenous, but nothing indigenous left to them. Whatever their forefathers or their great ancestors were, they are not carrying the same spirit. They are carrying a kind of a Christian spirit, or a kind of, a kind of, a monotheistic, or a kind of a spirit. The point here is that, coming back to the issue, is that we see a governance which is bigger than the India's government. The bureaucracy, which is bigger than the Indian government's bureaucracy, is working on a larger scale, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari to, the 8 directions, like 4 directions, and the other sub 4 directions, other sub directions, including your next door, so-called non-governmental organizations or civil societies, which is working for so-called human rights, is connected to these woke activists. These woke activists are not connected to the ground reality, grassroots. They are, it's like, we have a lot of nepotism in social, service. Instead of social service, we call it as social work. And especially, for example, in this field, we are also kind of seeing the multi-billion-dollar economy which is pouring in. We see, so I prefer calling them as lipstick activists. Like wearing a lipstick. There is nothing wrong in wearing lipstick. Anybody who love lipstick, they can wear it. Those days we had this gulab, and like we used to rub it, and like we used to put it irrespective of male or female or whatever gender it is. If you like to wear lipstick, wear it. And this has nothing, I'm not, offensive, but the lipstick activism is something, you're just wearing it on your lips and wiping it off. That's it. It's like these group of activists are so influential, dangerously influential. So, for namesake, we have our government, but they take decisions. So they work on Dalit rights, disability rights, and women rights, and every single issues you see, which is connected to humanities, is controlled by them. The whole ecosystem, if you see in Delhi, the way certain groups of feminists, they control the so-called feminist narratives. None of these people will include Madhu Kishorji as part of their discussion. Madhu Kishorji, who started India's first feminist magazine or all that. So these are the type of woke activists,
Gopiji, can you tell us about the issues that some of the foreign funding brings in? When there is, you've written about it, I believe, but when there is a lot of foreign funding, it sort of becomes like a barrier for some who are on the ground, who are not able to access that. Their voices are somehow drowned out in the larger scheme of things. So does that also sort of exacerbate some of these problems?
Yeah, absolutely. Because see, the point here is that, for example, we have a gigantic corporate civil society coming and swallowing, street vendors, like, small ecosystems and NGOs. It's like literally you are buying activists with millions of rupees. Be it, CAA or NRC or, Article 370 issue, the way these people are structured, the way these people have structured their funds, it is like highly problematic, highly unethical, it is highly biased. So there are a lot of investments. It's like a multi-million-dollar business. Even if you're going to run a kind of a multinational company, you will not get that much money. I mean, I'm not paid a single penny for like 12 years. We were the longest floating, LGBTQI or the SOGI youth volunteer movement, youth-led movement in India. We have been surviving without even a proper office, and the impact we have on the communities or the policy making and the law making, even before the BJP government come into the picture, we were existing from the last government was there, and we have been engaging with them too. And we don't even own an office, but when you see people who came before 2 years or 3 years, they own an apartment, they own a farmhouse.
Namaste. We hope you enjoyed this Chitti Media content. Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.